I'm Samantha Rubenzer. I'm an instructional designer at the educational technology team here at CVTC. Today in this video, I'm presenting on Speaker Coach, and within that program, it's embedded into Microsoft PowerPoint, and it allows students to rehearse and practice presentations to help build their confidence and speaking ability in a public setting. I want to show you how to get to Speaker Coach, and you first do this by going to the home screen, which is what auto-generates when you open Microsoft PowerPoint, and then you would go to Slideshow and select Rehearse with Coach. When I click on this button, it's going to take me to a presentation window, and then it's going to prompt me to say that I'm starting to receive live feedback once I hit Start Rehearsing. I can turn this feature off if I find it to be too distracting, but for the purpose of this video, I want to leave it on just so that you can see what that dialogue looks like. I'm going to also attempt to trigger the dialogue here by making some common speaking mistakes, such as reading words directly from the slide, increasing my pacing to be really fast, and then using lots of filler words like basically and just to see if it can trigger some coaching for me to do better. So I'm going to go ahead and start rehearsing. Our instructional design model is a continuous improvement process to support instructional excellence. There are several organizational needs that may prompt this process, including grant initiatives, 5-year course reviews, new program courses, and student success measures. Basically, what the student success measures means is that an instructor has reviewed their gradebook at the end of the term and says things like they're finding learning gaps, and they want to work with an instructional designer to build in components that increase engagement and readability within their course so that they can close those learning gaps with their students. There's basically 4 different phases within the instructional design model. The first one is discover, where you basically just pick a need, and then after that you design a component. After you design it, then it starts to be developed, and then lastly it gets deployed and reviewed. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thank you for listening. Okay, I've paused Speaker Coach. I've incorporated a few different common speech errors, and we're going to see what happens in the report that comes from Speaker Coach in hopes that the student can analyze this report in a way that makes them improve their speaking ability. So right away it tells me how much time I spent in my presentation. So if there's an instructor that sets parameters for that, it gives them an idea of how close they were to meeting the expectations of the project. It tells me my pace over time, and even highlights in a graph where in my presentation I was maybe going a little too fast or possibly a little too slow. It comments on my fillers, so it says to sound more polished and confident, try avoid using these filler words. And if I need to know more on how to do that or gain strategies, I can click the link here. It says I didn't use much repetitive language, and I used inclusive language. If I used words like you guys or things that just were less inclusive, it would flag that here. It comments on my pitch and says that by using a low pitch variation, I oftentimes will lose my audience interests, and to try increasing that tone. And then the last thing that it reports on is the fact that I read directly from slide 3. So it's basically giving me some information on how I can improve by building my confidence in the content that I'm presenting on and not read word for word from the slide. So this is just one tool that AI can be incorporated into classes that have some sort of presentation component or project, and allow students the ability to rehearse and get their jitters out before having to go in front of a large group. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to EdTech. We'd be happy to help. Thanks.